everybody. We have the next in our Castle Crashers custom series today, and today we'll be looking at the Mushroom Brute. So, the Mushroom Brute is one that I've made is kind of just it's more of a fun reskin of an existing character than in like an entirely brand spanking new fresh concept. But, yeah, I was looking at the Brute, and I was trying to get some ideas down for a mushroom-themed guy. And there's already a modded character that is mushroom-themed. I'll try to throw up a picture here if I can find one. But, so I didn't want to just make a regular mushroom, another mushroom guy. You know, I wanted to try my own little spin. So I've made a combination, mixing my little mushroom ideas with the Brute. And the Brute, I think, is one of the most popular Castle Crashers characters with how iconic he is. Only has 2 appearances in the game, and both of them are beefy, and he beats the fuck out of you. I think that is really, that's a really powerful message to send. And then when you get him as playable, he's cool in his own right because he still has some unique magic to him as well. So there's still there's a lot of charm behind the Brute. So I wanted to do my own little take where he's kind of an inverse of the existing Brute, where he's a little softer. He's the good guy. I have him allied with the kingdom, and he's allied with the kingdom in his lore as well, and all that kind of stuff. You know, something a little fun. A friendly new knight. Yeah, and then the main differences here is that he doesn't have the crazy parts of like the mohawk or any of the crazy extensions on the helmet. Like I opened it up, he has these nice little glowing red eyes, has a little mushroom hat, a little mushroom shield here, and yeah, and the rest of him is just kind of a nice recolor of the Brute and the Brute armor and all that kind of stuff, and then throwing the little flag on the back just for good measure. You know, I like him a lot. He's simple. I wanted to make sure I wasn't going balls to the walls on every single design if I didn't feel it was necessary. Like for a character like this, you know, I wanted to keep it very straightforward. You know, just a nice little reskin of the Brute with my own little twang thrown on with a nice little mushroom hat, mushroom shield, and yeah, it's making a friendly face to add to the ranks of allies and such. But moving on from the Brute himself, we're gonna go to his portrait here, and yeah, just kind of the same idea. Just a regular green flat background here, and he's waving a nice little wave here, and included the flag in the portrait as well, and just yeah, he's a different kind of Brute. You know, he's just a very chill, loves to smoke meth kind of guy. You know, that's the way it should be. He's a nice little fella here. But yeah, no, I like I like his little waving pose. He's got good personality, I think. Especially since like a lot of his face is just his eyes. That's where a lot of the expression is. So I hope it comes across well that he's just a friendly little dude that can kick some ass if necessary. But moving on from the portrait, we got the back off barbarian sprite. And this is another one that's just kind of a recolor addition to the actual Brute sprite. You know, just my own little things added to him, and just yeah, he's a little posed up. This guy's very simple. I think one of the most simple characters I have made, besides one other one that's in the works for right now. But yeah, no, I wanted to keep it simple. It was just a nice idea I had in my head. I wanted my own little mushroom guy, so this is where we came up with just this soft little mushroom friend. But as always, what happens when this friendly Brute devours a delicious sandwich? Well, you get this familiar but unique face. Bam! Check him out. Yeah, and this is another similar case where not too much crazy here, not too much crazy changes here. You know, you got the flag now, but yeah, just the new brute head and recoloring the brute version armor and just, you know, keeping it classic and simple. I like the coloring a lot. I think it's a really nice little difference from the original brute colors, and he has his own identity despite being the same kind of armored guy. But yeah, this pretty much wraps up the brute himself. I didn't give him a custom weapon or anything like that. There was nothing really struck gold in my head for making a weapon for him, so I just kept it simple and just kept it to the guy. But what I did add was another animal orb, because I've been having a lot of fun designing these things. And this animal orb is a little crazy compared to my previous ones. So this is Sporissimo. I fucking love this guy. Look how furious but silly he is. Yeah, I was thinking for an animal orb for to pair along with this guy, and since he's kind of the, you know, the very neutral looking to friendly character, I thought about making a real angry son of a gun here. But yes, Sporissimo, for those that may or may not have caught it, I was inspired by the Spore Yu-Gi-Oh card, so I kind of wanted to include a little reference to Yu-Gi-Oh, because that's another one of my favorite things. I love the collecting, I used to play a ton, all that crap. But when I was thinking of an animal orb, I'm like, oh man, Spore is perfect, so here's the evil, twisted, dark side of my mind version of Spore I came up with. And he's silly. Look at him. He's a silly little guy. His little tongue sticking out. But where Sporissimo gets insane is his effect as an animal orb. So this seems crazy, but I was really thinking for all the insane mode challenge run shenanigans that goes on a lot with Castle Crashers playthroughs and content and videos and all that kind of stuff, is that, you know, you try to find new and creative ways to challenge yourself in the game. So I Sporissimo is kind of almost a mode in his own way, like Spore mode, where you get these crazy buffs. You get 10 levels to everything. But the trade-off is that food and potions no longer heal you, and they poison slash damage you respectively. So the way I imagine this working is that if you picked up food, it would inflict a set amount of poison damage, and then you'd be poisoned. And then for the potion, if you were to drink it, it would do a set amount of damage, and then poison you. So it's one of those things where it is it is the challengiest of challenging runs, where you get these insane boosts, but the trade-off is that you're essentially doing healless runs of whatever level you're playing. And you know, this probably is a balancing nightmare, but I thought this would be great. I thought it'd be a fun, crazy challenge to throw into the game, and you know, what better to do it than put it on a silly little guy like this? You know, this silly little fella does all this. So this was the main idea I thought of with good old Sporissimo, is just kind of let an animal orb be a challenge mode in and of itself, which I think is cool. Like he would. One thing I have been missing in videos is that I haven't really been talking about how characters would be unlocked, and that's something I'm actually, once I finish a good bulk of the Castle Crashers Customs series, I plan to do a little bonus video that would be the hypothetical of how you would unlock them, you know? So that's something that I would talk about there, and like animal orbs included and all that kind of stuff. But like Sporissimo would unlock by doing something in insane mode, as with a lot of my other characters, just so you're more inclined to play insane mode is my is the main thing I want to do with my content if it was to be regularly added to Castle Crashers, not as the DLC stuff. But rambling aside, that pretty much wraps it up for this little tag team of fellas right here. So there's the looming Sporissimo threat. But yeah, this is the little bit that I came up with for this next character. I'm very thrilled with him. He's super simple, not too much to talk about here, but he's a nice little fella, and I'm a big fan of his pal that I came up with as well. So, but yeah, that'll pretty much wrap it up for this one. This is one of the shorter ones, kind of like the Fishman video where there's not too much crazy stuff to talk about, but still a nice little showcase of things that I'm gonna be putting out there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this next video. As always, the next video will be out next week. I'm gonna try to post these every Saturday, same time. So expect the next one on our regularly scheduled programming, guys. Everybody have a good one, and peace.